coming back to join the cast of Carmen. I never sung a single song before. I don't really care where I stand in the winner's circle. Make room for a man from the middle with you. I don't even know how I got to the finish, but don't care, don't make no difference to me. I don't understand what you're saying, only kinda listen. Make room for a man on a mission with you. I don't even know how I got to the finish, but don't care, don't make no difference.
There are men, and there are giants.
Bass and stills in the building, flash the camera. I'ma drop the hammer. Things done changed, the hip-hop sizzle and Bobby out the slammer. Hip-hop start on the East Coast and then move west down to Bama. I'ma bring it back to New York, hold those and throw your hands up. Pass me a cup of the club with the juice in the get bent out. Then I'ma slide with it to my ride and head up to my penthouse. Oh, I'm not trying to take it slow, working hard, cake and dough. Open up 24, we striving for that goal.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. This week's matchup features two teams who both walked away with a notch in the loss column last week. It's the Packers going up against the Buccaneers. So with kickoff straight ahead, we'll check in with our broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, we are at a site that's played host to 2 Super Bowls, and that's Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Tonight, we wrap up the first 13 weeks of the season with a good Monday nighter between the Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now the first carry for Doug Martin. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Tackle made there by Nick Perry. And Jenkins is a guy in this offense that I know you like to talk about.
Absolutely love to talk about Austin Seferian-Jenkins. His ability to play in any position, whether it's as a wide receiver or as an inline tight end, his versatility, some of the best in the league.
You even gave him the full name there.
Austin Seferian-Jenkins. He is the real deal.
Second down, Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And it'll bring up third down. And let's get a look at the Green Bay defense.
Clay Matthews is an absolute force. Multiple Pro Bowls as an outside linebacker. He can swing inside and create the same havoc.
On third down, Winston. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now fourth down. On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep, Dre Archer.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. And a wide receiver to watch in this offense, certainly Jordy Nelson.
And most defenses watch him run past them. Jordy Nelson can run every route in the route tree and take it to the house.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Complete left side, the tight end Rodgers. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
And Richard Rodgers makes the grab, and let's face it, it's going to follow him the rest of his career. The Hail Mary he caught to beat the Lions in 2015 in Detroit, pretty memorable play.
Those Lions fans, they just don't like you right now if they heard that.
I didn't mean to bring it up to, pull the Band-Aid off the wound there. I was just trying to praise Richard Rodgers. Yeah, they're going to be mad at me.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Gerald McCoy is so slippery and elusive in the interior of the defense. I don't care who has the assignment to block him. It usually ends up having to take at least 2. And most of the time, that's not enough either. Witness that tackle for a loss.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Looking middle, and that's complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Alteron Werner. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3
now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'm trying to do better here. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Play fake to Martin. Now Jameis. And Dye has it over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there at 22.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Mike Daniels in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. On 2nd down, Martin. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
And he has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 4th down. Roberto Aguayo out now for the Buccaneer field goal try. This a 43-yard attempt. And that hits the right upright and caroms away. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that hollow metal sound is the bane of any kicker's existence. And here, that sound is going to keep our game scoreless.
And you could see him give that body English as the ball was in the air. Come on, baby. Come on. But no dice that time.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 57 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Joe McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Time running out here on the play clock. And with the play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. This will be caught at about the 6. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
So we would have figured that one to be 3 points in the bank, but this game, can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah, he knew he needed to pull it ever so slightly to get it going in the right direction, but he seemed to put a little too much on it, and from short range, that is a bad miss for an NFL kicker.
A first down throw for Winston. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. It's a gain of 20 that time. And the Buccaneers are going to have a first down.
I know I'm not in the rooting business, but I really like this kid, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. Good catch there. I'm just hoping he can stay on the field and have some good health.
Now the Bucs hoping so too, limited to 16 games total his first 2 seasons combined.
He is quite a target for a young quarterback. Jameis Winston can grow with this guy, and boy, they can be a dynamic duo.
Jameis now on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Clay Matthews in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Less than a minute to go here in a scoreless first quarter to this point. One receiver to the left is Evans. Now a second down throw for Winston. A dump off to Sims. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware, ball may come your way.
And let's see, the Packers defensively 6 DBs, so a dime look on third.
Could play coverage or bring pressure.
3rd and long for Winston. Drops it off to Martin. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 14 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Here's Brian Anger now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
This is Cobb with a catch right side. And that one results in 35 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this. But run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
2nd down following the run. On play action, Rodgers. And Nelson's got it here right side. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
Red zone opportunity. Throwing now is Rodgers. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. That's caught at the 1. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Packers have taken the lead.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A first down throw for Winston. They set up the screen to Martin. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys?
And Winston lost the football. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
Let's see if they dial it up this drive. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
One receiver to the left is Evans. Jameis to throw it. And his throw here is incomplete. Winston with a give to Martin. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. And you would have to think an obvious passing situation here on 3rd and 9. On 3rd down, Winston. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Caught by Nelson left side. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And now a first down following that long gain. They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his right. And this one's incomplete. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Rodgers again here on second and 10. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. On first down, Drake trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain, and it's second down. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use his speed to get there in the run game.
Now a handoff looking right, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
So now at 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary, a nickel look. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. It's caught. Nelson. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that third down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
Third time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on third, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
And the 2-minute warning lurking. This will probably be the last play before we hit it.
Yeah, they want to get themselves in position to score in this last shot before the clock hits.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll push his way up to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. Here's Rodgers to throw. Caught by Nelson. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and the lead moves to 10-zip. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on the line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sam Shields. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it. And we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we send you now to Orlando to check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, LR. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Rodgers will try again on second down. Caught left side by Cobb. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They come out here in the eye. And on the ground they go with a running back. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third. From the gun on third down, Rodgers. That's complete to Cobb. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. Rodgers now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Second down following the incompletion. Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. Caught by Nelson left side. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Every time I see a hitch pattern dropped, I go back to the combine because there's a drill that they use all the time that's called the gauntlet drill, where a receiver catches the ball and just works his way straight down the line and catches it from different sides. And the problem with that drill is that you don't actually have to secure the catch. You just kind of catch it, drop it immediately, and keep moving. And sometimes that shows up on plays like this.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Gerald McCoy. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So now on fourth down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. This from 42 yards out. And Crosby puts it through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense. Finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So it'll be first down here after the run. Winston now to throw on first down. Looking, and that's caught inside the 35. They get 31 yards that time. And it'll give the Bucs a first down. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. One receiver left, 2 to the right. Now a second down throw for Winston. He's got time in the pocket. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A good pickup there of 22. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. First down, here's the run with Martin. And he'll push his way up to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Second down, Winston. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
I think we need to come up with a different name for this position. We keep calling it the fullback position. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback, but we know this. Whoever's coming out of that spot is usually bigger and stronger, and they may not run away from people, but they'll run through them.
Yeah, able to shed tacklers. We saw it right there. They'll run it. Here's Martin. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
They come out here in the eye. And here we go on 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Martin. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Doug Martin with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bucs have made this a one-score game. And that'll make it 13-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go for a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Back now in Tampa. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Running, it's Drake. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Check 26, check 26. Go, go, go. 319, 319. Over. Reset. Hey, easy. 319.
The play clock's running down. Here's Rodgers. Caught left side by Cobb. Give him 2 yards on that play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Defense sinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. William Golston in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
So 3rd and 20, defense in the nickel.
Surprised they didn't go with 6 DBs, the dime look.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And Nelson's got it here right side. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that 1st down pass.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Ooh, long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Play clock winding down. On 3rd down, Drake. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
And Crosby puts it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So that's a big one there. It's his 3rd field goal of the game, and a 2-score lead's got to feel pretty good right about now.
And while they're not free and clear yet, you're right. Now this defense can go out knowing that it's going to take more than one big play to catch them.
Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. He goes left side, and he has dive. And he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. And complete over the middle, Safarian Jenkins. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he's going to get this one down to the 45. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. Oh, he's able to out-muscle him here as he pulls it in. He got 29 yards that time. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, oh, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you talked about before, getting his feet down.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Doug Martin with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Bucs are able to make this a close game again. And it's good. It cuts it to 2. 16-14 our score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. On the return, here's Dree Archer. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. William Golston in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Time is starting to run out, really becoming a factor. We'll see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back to the offense. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Surveying the field. He's going to... Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Brad McDougal. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. Following the interception, Winston. They set up the screen to Martin. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. One receiver to the left is Evans. Back to throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Give him 16 on the pickup, and the Buccaneers are going to have a first down. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
Again, it's Martin. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Third down and 1.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. Stop right there. Ready? Hey, white 25.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So a pressure spot here for Roberto Aguayo. And Aguayo able to knock it through. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down...
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. This remains a 1-point game. The defense did their job. Now the offense here late, they just need to kind of hold on.